Listen, it's not just 2024 contenders that have this on their mind. There's a push by Republicans in the House to expunge Trump's impeachments. You got Speaker McCarthy saying he supports it, denying he made any deal about it with Trump. What is your reporting telling you?
Yeah, he does support it. He does deny that there was some sort of secret deal, but we do know that they talked about it, and he told Trump that he would talk to the Republican conference about it. And we do know that Elise Stefanik has introduced the expungement, and she's the number 3 Republican, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's maybe the most famous Republican in Congress at the moment. So it does have momentum. It probably could pass sometime in the fall, perhaps. But again, it doesn't really do anything. I think it's purely symbolic.
So what's the point, Luke?
It's totally a symbolism thing. It's to tell Trump we're with you 100%. Those bad Democrats of the past, we're erasing them from history. But of course, you can't actually erase what actually happened in Congress. Everybody saw the impeachments. We know what happened. So it's not like a criminal record that you can, that's on a job application where you can ban the box or something. It's just a totally different scenario where this would be a purely symbolic act.
Harry, Trump's former lawyer claims another federal indictment is still far off. I want you to take a listen.
I know that there are several key witnesses that they have not yet interviewed. And so it does give everybody the impression that we're talking about an indictment within a week, whereas, my personal observations, I think it's at least a month away.
At least a month away. Harry, what do you think about the timeline?
He's whistling in the graveyard. Look, the agents or the interviews that they want to do not require a grand jury sitting. For the most part, what you want to do now is the people you need in the grand jury, like Will Russell, who testified for the 3rd time, you want to lock him in. Everybody else, Bernard Kerik, the names you hear bandied about, they can talk to after, and they can do a trial subpoena. Now, it's true, we don't know who else he may want to try to stitch up. All we've heard so far about is Trump, but to me, it's customary, not necessary, but customary that the indictment follows in quick order off the target letter. And Smith, I think, is all about speed now. So it's plausible he's got a several-week game plan, but to me, it's equally, if not more plausible, he is ready to pull the trigger with one exception, and that is Trump gets an opportunity, if he requests it, to make a final appeal, which will not succeed to the higher-ups, but not Merrick Garland higher-ups in DOJ and Smith's operation.
Luke, part of the reason I made you spend part of your Saturday with me is because I have 2 burning questions about Congress as it relates to the DOJ's target letter to Trump. One is, do you have a sense, as you talk to Republicans on the Hill, that they are more spooked than they are letting on by the possibility of a second federal indictment? And given that one of the statutes was recommended by the January 6th committee, any sense of vindication among former members of the committee?
Well, yeah, I talked to several members of the committee right after the news came out about what charges were in the target letter, and their stance pretty much is we laid out this case and we've been hoping the Justice Department would pick it up and run with it. And all the time they've been agitating for it to be quicker and happen faster. And so they were glad to see that things were moving along and that their evidence was being put to use and was being built upon. Jack Smith certainly has advanced well beyond where the January 6th committee was. He's been able to pierce privileges that were invoked by key witnesses to the January 6th committee. He's been able to interview at least a dozen people that they never got a chance to talk to, high-ranking people close to Trump. So he's gone beyond what they put forward. And in fact, and I think you see that with the deprivation of rights under the color of law count, because that was not one of the considerations that the January 6th committee had put forward. So yeah, they think things are moving along and they're glad to see that the Justice Department has surpassed them.